So if you ever worked in the insurance industry, you've heard the line that I'm a good driver, I should get a better rate. And that is completely true. I agree with that statement, but not all companies see it the same way. So different companies rate things in different statuses in different categories. So whether you're buying your home with your auto, or you have teen drivers with you, or you're just on your own, there's different situations for each driver. Well, today we're going to dive into what a good driver is, as well as how to get the best rates when you have a good driving record. Before I dive into the subject, I would like to say thank you to our channel sponsor, which is Cover, who is currently allowing people to shop up to 30 different companies across an app. It's a pretty cool thing. If you haven't watched the review that I did on it before I was sponsored as the channel from them, you should definitely go back and check them out. I'll put a link in the description below, so if you want to check them out, it's down there. You can shop multiple companies. I'll also put the link to the review that I did that I actually went through the quote with them. So if you are shopping around, that's a great option to check out. I will put that in the description below. So essentially what a good driver is somebody that doesn't have claims. You don't have accidents, you don't have tickets. That's really the only thing that companies are looking at. But not quite, because the insurance companies are also looking at your credit, your insurance score as they speak. Also, the location that you live in, the territory as they call it, as well as the symbol of your vehicle, which is in the video here that we go over, is the symbol types of your vehicle. Is a van more or less to insure than a Corvette? It's pretty obvious there's a big difference in cost, but does the actual type of vehicle make a difference in your policy? Either way, let's just take the standard driver. I'm driving a four-door sedan or a standard car, whatever the case is. The typical 30 to 50-year-old that has a decent car, has decent credit, has a home or not, doesn't matter in most cases. Overall, they're just a great fit, but they have zero claims and zero accidents, zero tickets. That's the perfect scenario. So the key takeaway is to stay away from having those claims where you might file a windshield ding or nick, or the windshield cracked. Yes, I get it. You bought the insurance to pay for that, but if a $300 claim is going to remove your 3 to 5 year plus discount for having good driving history, then it might not be worth it as far as the price goes. I would pay $300 now, but ultimately I'm saving several $100s per year going forward. So as mentioned, the location plays a huge factor, whether you're in Detroit, Michigan, or California, or New York. Those are all different spots. Some companies don't even go in those states. So there's so big of a difference on where you live and the location that you're at that it shies away from wanting to give you the best price versus giving you the best deal. That's why in this channel you hear us talk about fits. Are you a good fit in the situation, the location, the credit, the car, you for this company? That's one of the reasons people shop around a lot, is because they're really looking for that perfect fit. That's one of the reasons you should smash the like button so that you get a good fit with this channel. Enough giving you all the details. Let's dive in, and we're going to talk about the top companies that are rated for car insurance. Now, I grabbed an article that I got from bankrate.com. They have some pretty good articles, and I like some of the data that they get, whether it's their own or they go outsource it. They at least create the articles that I can go through. The sections that they're going to talk about is the typical driver, which is male and female. They did both of them. And we're going to talk about those that have a clean driving record. We're going to talk about accidents, if you have a speeding ticket, and if you have a DUI. We're going to show you the differences between those options so that you can find a better fit, not necessarily the guarantee that in your location it's going to be the perfect fit, but it's a pretty good thing to look at. It would be a companies that I would lean towards checking with to see if you do hit that sweet spot where you are going to get the best rate. So to give you some cheat answers, is there's 3 companies that are going to stand out the most. We've got USAA, Progressive, and Erie Insurance. Now those guys are very, very competitive, and you may have seen some reviews that I've done on them, or even comparisons where I have them go head to head against each other. But in today's video, I'm going to show you what scenarios each of those and other companies are going to be the most competitive. So in the first category, the reason you clicked on this video is the clean driving record. The winner of the clean driving record, if you have a perfect smudge-free driving history, no tickets, no accidents, all of that, is going to be USAA. They are the leading company. There's a video here if you want to check them out. However, you have to know somebody or be part of the military or some government connection because they don't just let anyone in the door with them. Great company, they are starting to slip a little bit as far as prices, but overall, they're one of the top companies as far as service goes. That's coming in at $1,225 per year is the estimated cost for someone with a good driving record. Very close to that price is going to be Erie Insurance, where they're going to come in at $1,233, so very minute discount between the two. Company-wise, I'll be honest, I would lean towards USAA over Erie any day, but if you're not part of military or any of that situation, then Erie's going to be a great option for good drivers. In the third place for that category is going to be Amica. Amica has been a big power player as far as quality, service, and overall a really good company. They've fallen out of the articles and out of the news as far as being such because so many companies have surpassed them as far as market share and overall company size. And a lot of people look at the market share as a focus because why would somebody join and stay with an insurance company without there being a problem? That kind of goes to show you that those that have that market share are going to have some of the best terms and services and fits. It sort of means that when you average them across the board, but it also means that they market more. They have more funds, they have more investors, and they can afford to spend more on that piece. So Amica, I've known for years. Great company. Overall, they are one of my top three as well as far as this list goes, and they are coming in at $1,378 per year. And going down the list, the other companies, in case you're curious, Geico was $1,405, State Farm was $1,457, Nationwide $1,485. You kind of see this trend. They're all right around that $1,500 mark. Progressive $1,509. MetLife was a little high, $2,123, although it might change now that Farmers owns them. Hartford $2,270, so not really looking for that best driving record. And then Allstate $1,921. For those of you that do have an accident, Erie Insurance took the running win with this one. They came in at $1,398 on average for that situation. The next closest, I can't even see, it looks like Nationwide at $1,745, so a pretty big difference between that. USAA $1,742, a little bit cheaper. Amica $1,665, and in general, most of the companies were higher, some ranging in the $2,200 to $2,300 price range. As far as speeding tickets go, it's no different. Erie took the win in this situation, $1,283 per year. USAA is still in the top running as well at $1,463 per year. Amica $1,689, Geico $1,734, State Farm $1,590. So overall, tickets aren't going to play as big of a factor. If you have a ticket, that's kind of a win for the insurance company. Sure, it raises your risk a little bit, but at the end of that process, a lot of those claims never become an accident. And it doesn't hurt the insurance company either which way, even though there's a higher liability claim that could happen for those that do speed. It's overall a win for the insurance company, in my opinion. I think it's safe to say that the Hartford in this situation is the by far furthest away from being competitive. They came in at $3,617 for those of you that do have a ticket. If you're with the Hartford, I apologize. There's a link below where you can shop most of these companies with one app or one quote. In those of you that have had a DUI, we're not going to dive too in depth of this. I can tell you right now by looking at the stats that Progressive is by far the best choice to go with. For some reason, they don't rate DUIs as heavily as most companies. They're coming in about 1933. The next closest one is 100 or more beyond what they're looking at. The highest that we're looking at is going to be the Hartford at $7,855 per year. A little bit crazy, but that's just not the fit. At that point, even though you could have been a customer with them for 30 years, you no longer fit what the model is for them, in which case you need to find someone that you are a better fit for. I'm sure a lot of you are curious what the cost is for the other ones, so we'll just tell you. USAA was $2,177, Amica was $3,479, Geico $3,064, State Farm $2,201, so pretty close to the Progressive. And then we've got Erie as well, close at $2,067 per year. Still good options. Those are some good ways to look that if you have either ticket, accident, or DUI, you have some options there. Just be careful because those aren't necessarily the best fits for when you have multiple scenarios. So if you've had an accident and a ticket, that might be a different situation. None of these companies are going to necessarily be competitive in those situations. I've got some videos on this channel that you guys may like about those situations where we go into depth on how tickets affect and accidents affects your driving record and your history and your overall price and insurance. So if you want to learn more about those, definitely check out the video here where we'll go over that. Otherwise, we've got some other discount videos that you may want to check out as well. I'm Mark with Think Insurance. I'll see you in the next one.